Sorry about that. Cool. So obviously one of the things we're looking today is to explore the relationship between brand purpose and the brand journey. And literally, what do you want to be known for? And what is the heart of your business? And actually, who even cares? If we look at business out there at the moment, it's a very, very noisy world. And one of the things we can be assured of is that everybody wants to buy, but absolutely nobody wants to be sold to. So if you take that premise, it's really, really hard for us then in a culture where actually everything is online for us to be able to put our businesses first and actually be seen and heard in a very, very noisy marketplace. So everybody wants to buy, but nobody wants to be sold to. So if you are selling products or services or solutions, how do you actually get that into your marketplace and how can you be seen and heard? And one of the biggest ways that we're doing that is to help people. It's in a very noisy world of online creativity and there's multiple media platforms. So how do you focus? And I'd like to see people focusing by looking at the noise around them and then clearing the fog on it. And then it's an incredibly noisy platform. This isn't our research. If you look at this data that we got from Meltwater, what you're seeing here is that there are like 4.76 billion people of social media users versus the total population. And if you think about the Western versus the Eastern versus the African communities, it says that it's a very, very, very heavy marketplace. And we're seeing the rate of growth of 0.5%, 23 million people, more people are going social media within every quarter. And I think the statistic on this slide that really used to blow me away was the fact that it said that literally we would have 7.2, we would actually use an average number of social platforms of 7.2 platforms a user would use in any 1 month. And I actually myself was going, I don't even know if I know 7 platforms. I actually know the top 4, I know which platforms to use, but do I know actually 7 platforms to use? But what it was showing is that the users were on the increase, that we were seeing that there was a really good split between female and male users. But what we are seeing is that it's noisy. And then if you actually start to have a look at that, what you could see was as well, is that actually those top few platforms, I knew Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, but what you'll see coming up was a whole lot of new platforms that I'd never even heard of. And it's a really noisy marketplace. But if you look at the marketplace and the platforms that people are using, they're still using social Facebook as a social platform, and it's still a strong selling platform. And also YouTube is the second largest search engine outside of Google. So what we did see there was the trend towards video, towards voice, towards interactive. And with the growth of TikTok, and what you're seeing with TikTok as well, is that a lot more people are actually marketing and using their business on social platforms. So if you just see the noise that is around us out there at the time and the desire to try and grow your business, what we wanted to help people do was just to literally step back. And for me, it's all in the planning. If we're really going to make a difference in performing and pushing our brand forward, one of the most important things we have to do is to work out where we are now and actually what's changed in our environment, what's changed in our client base, what's changed in how we market and how we go to market. And the most important thing for me is that people take some time to clear their heads and to step back, because the brand growth journey is very different from just pushing out sales-led marketing to customers just so that we can get their attention. What we want to do is to pull people in because they can connect with us on an emotional level or on a level that actually is the right level for their business, because the messaging is right, because they can see clearly what you do and how you do it. And when we're working with our clients, one of the big things we try to do is to help clients focus. And the important thing here is that how will your business work for you? There is really important to have personal goals sitting within inside how you push the brand growth journey forward. And the purpose, what you want to be known for, and who you're talking to and why do you exist. Those things are really, really important. And actually more and more people are connected on a personal level with your purpose and how that purpose is actually going to make their lives better. I don't know how many of you have actually started to see more people going, questioning you maybe on sustainability or on your diversity and inclusivity programs, but all of that is that ramped up in your purpose. And then obviously, literally the business vision, how are you going to succeed? So we are trying to help people go on a journey of getting these 7 things in place. How do you and your team behave? So what is the values of your business? People are connecting with values all the time. And part of the brand growth journey is making sure that people can see that not only do they like the products and solutions that you have, but that you share the same values as them in terms of their belief system, and in some cases how you're going to save the planet, or in some cases just literally how you work and your ethics in your business. And then literally, where is the business now? So challenges and risks. What's stopping your business from growing? What's stopping the brand from being seen? What's stopping the actual performance going forward? I'm literally just trends. Where is the world now? When you look at trends, and one of the most important things about trends is that trends literally are the general direction of change, and it's a new way of behaving and proceeding. And how many businesses actually step back and look at the trends of their business, where I am now, what's happening in the marketplace that I'm in, and what would that look like in 5 years, and how does my business need to behave moving forward as part of that trend? And the most important thing then is that what consistently brings you success. So things that are stable in time, which we'll come and talk about. But one of the things about that is that we're always pushing about change. We're always going, what can I do differently? What can I do better? But the most important thing about the 3 things stable in time, and this was Jeff Bezos, actually, funnily enough, from Amazon, when he was being interviewed one day, everyone said to him, so what's new, what's coming, what's Amazon got on the horizon? And he said, nobody ever asks me, what are the things that are never going to change, that are stable in time, which will guarantee the success of the company? And that's going to be, for us, depth of stock, having what customers want in the right place, next day delivery, making sure that we can actually give the customers what they want, and value and price. So those were the 3 things stable in times for Amazon that would never change. So when we're in a marketplace of trying to drive our brand forward, the most important thing for us to do is also to look at within our brand, what are the things within our business that are stable in time, that don't change, that we need to keep certain, what's at the core. And so when we're looking at the 7 things in a business to focus on, it's everything from a business goal, business brand, your purpose, your vision, your missions, all the way through to what do you want to be known for, and who do you want to talk to, and how are they feeling when you talk to them, and what's the journey you're going to take them on when you come to the brand. And those are the most important things for us to think about. But I'm going to start by actually just saying there is the sort of, it distills down very simply into what's your message, what's your market, and what's your media? How do you use it? So what do you want to talk about to the right audience? Where are you going to talk about it? And do you know that audience? And what tools do you use to spread that news within what you're doing? So as far as the message goes, it's that, what is the part of your brand? So you've got to define your brand journey. So what's the purpose of your brand? What are you trying to do out there? What are you trying to change? And that purpose, sometimes people go, well, what's the purpose? What's the vision? What's the mission? But the purpose is literally, how are you going to change the lives of the people that you're working with what you do? And it's not, I want to grow my business in 5 years to 10 million. It's, I want to shift the industry to make a significant change in the values of somebody's life. So that purpose is really important. It's what do you want to be known for? When you walk out of a room and you leave people, what do you want them to be saying about your business? Do you want them to be saying, oh my God, I can't work without them. That product is really incredible. That solution will change my life. It's what do you want to be known for out there in the marketplace? So that when you actually leave a business, you leave a business wanting more. And it's what experience do you want someone to have? We often talk about in the agency world about UX and UI, which is the user's experience versus the kind of like the user's interface. But actually, what experience do you want someone to have with your brand? Is it learning? Is it education? Is it helping them with their growth scenarios? Is it literally you want them to have a product that changes their life, or you have a solution that literally can shift their business a different stage? So what actually is the experience that you want them to have? And then really thinking about what delivers that experience. And that experience delivery could be your IP, your intellectual property, the thing that is unique about your business, the thing that only you can do and nobody else can do. So it's the uniqueness of you. And that delivery of that experience is really, really vital and important when you're looking at how you push out that message. And it's what's the so what from that experience? We quite often, when we're doing marketing, we put marketing out there, or we put a call to action out there. Someone experiences it, but what's the so what? How do they walk away? Do they walk away enriched? What's the next step? How do they engage with you further? How do you continue to work with that client? So literally, what delivers that? So what's the so what from that experience? And then what happens next? And the brand journey is everything, encompassing all of that. So that actually we are talking about from the very beginning, the reason why they engage, the emotional connection with you, all the way through to, I've had this experience, I really liked this experience, I can see quite clearly what next I have to do, and I'm going to carry on engaging with this customer and become part of this customer's community and stay with that customer. So it's about aligning the brand strategy internally with your leadership team, your people, the message, and the narrative. So the brand journey is everything in your business. It starts with a great business plan. It starts with the strategy and the thinking. It then goes into literally the people plan, into the operational plan, into the sales plan, the marketing plan. It goes through all the messaging internally and externally with all your stakeholders. And then literally it goes out into the products that your customer buys. And then theory, if you've got your brand journey correct, all the way from the beginning, all the way through to cash in your bank, everything is aligned in the business. And so that you can actually see quite clearly how to work with you. And people want consistency, they want continuity, and more than anything, they want transparency. So if you actually say over here on social, you know, we're really great and we're big supporters of green, but they go to your website and they can see nothing about it, or they go to your personal profile and they never see you talking about these topics, they're going to go, is that just to trick me or trigger me? I can't see those values continue through. So when we talk about the brand journey, we're talking about consistency, continuity, and transparency. People want to be able to believe what you say about your brand and your brand journey. So the most important thing here in the messaging is that you look at putting it through into a one strand that makes sense for everybody when they're working with you. I talked about, really importantly, what do you want to be known for? The most important thing out there about your purpose is, what do you want to be known for? So I want to be known for getting to the heart of a business and making it beat faster. I want to be known that when someone comes into a workshop with me, they go out going, oh my God, I'm excited, I'm energized, I actually have clarity, I can see what I'm doing, I know how to move my business forward. That's what I want to be known for. I want to be known for getting to the heart of the business and helping people shift it and change it. So it's really important when you're looking about your brand, what you want to be known for. And when we're looking at the brand and the brand journey, one of the things for me, which is really important is, and it's not coming through, sorry, hang on a second, is when I talk about what does brand mean, I've spoken to many people and I say to them, what does brand mean? And they go, oh, I've got my logo and I've got my printing and everything. And that's not what brand is. Brand isn't your branding. Actually, what brand is the thing that distinguishes you from the rest. So it is literally your brand journey and the thing that makes you so uniquely different all the way through your business. It's the end-to-end of your whole brand journey, but it's what distinguishes you from the rest. And that's what brand means. It's the messaging. It's the tip of the iceberg. It's demonstrating out to the business your values, all of the things that people can see. It's giving somebody a chance to open the window and look inside your business and go, I like what I see. So it's what distinguishes you from the rest completely. And I often say to people, your brand is what makes you uniquely you. And branding is the logo, the imagery, the tone of voice, the storytelling, and the route to market. And it's very hard to do the branding and to do that storytelling if you haven't stepped back and worked out in great detail what your brand is all about and who you are and who you want to be in the marketplace and what you want to be known for. So brand is what makes you uniquely you, and the branding is the things that we then do once we know all that stuff and we know what we're talking about. So there are two kind of like distinct definitions between brand and branding. The next thing I talked about was the market, and that is, who are you talking to? And this is really, really important. You know, how has your market changed? How many people are affected by COVID and lockdown and furlough? And then suddenly we can't see our audience anymore. They're not so clear. Everybody is locked away from us. What we saw was a massive change in the global marketplace. So how has your market changed, and how much more will it change in the future? Do you actually know how much more it will change in the future? And how well do you know your audience? So the big thing about the market is that when we actually all had to pivot from offline to online, if we were going to survive in this marketing world, quite a few of us actually didn't have our busy businesses in a place ready to go. So what we saw was a great scramble of people trying to get into the marketplace online just to keep our businesses afloat. And there are lots of businesses that were already online and connected and doing well. But how well do you know your audience? How well has your audience's needs changed as a direct result of what globally changed in the marketplace a little while ago? And how long will you appeal to them? The most important thing is that you need to know how your audience now, what you need to do to keep them, but also who's your new emerging audience. And if we look at the new emerging audience, that's most probably the most challenging thing for all of us, because the new emerging audience is more online than it's ever been. But what we have seen in the change is more and more people are coming offline to have conversations, to have face-to-face, to actually engage. And I always say this to everybody, as much as you can build an online business, there are some businesses and solutions for whom people will always still buy from people. So that growth of your personal brand is still as important as the growth in your business brand as you're moving forward. But the really important thing about your market is, what are your market channels? Literally, have they changed? Have they shifted? Do you know your audience? And really importantly, you need to get to know your emerging audience. So I just talk a little bit about trends and gaps and then how that affects you in terms of audience, because that's really, really important. But in actual fact, if we look at the trends in the marketplace, and what we said was, it's generally a direction of change. And it's a pattern of gradual change in a market, or it's a process that's changed. But if we are going to have a look at, in our own industry and in your own industry sectors, what you need to do for the future, you have to look at what happened in your marketplace literally 5 years ago, what's happening in your marketplace now, but can you predict what's happening in your marketplace in the next 1, 3, 5 years? Because if you can, then what you need to do is to look at the gaps in your business and start planning for that future. And it's really important. Lots of businesses don't take any time to sit back and actually look at the trends of their marketplace and see what's happened, what's shifted, what's changed. And in the past, you might have been able to go to events or conferences or meet your clients, or you could direct mail them. We know we all shifted to online. We saw this massive growth of digital selling. And now what we're seeing is a shift to, we're still online. And most of the new businesses that are coming up are online businesses, but we're also seeing a shift back to offline, where more people are doing print and leaflets and face-to-face. So when you started your businesses, or you're in a business now, when you started those businesses, you started with a business plan and a dream that in 5 years' time, I'd turn my business over to £1 million. I'd have 10 staff. I'd be doing this and this and this. If you looked at your business today and you looked at where you had set yourself originally, and then try to work out what's the gap between where you are now and where you wanted to be. And if you did that as your own personal objective in your business, you'd start to say, actually, I have got gaps in what I've achieved. But if by looking at the trends of your marketplace, you can map out the future trends that are going to affect people working with you. So it could be a change in tech, it could be AI, it could be the fact that you're seeing your customer base consolidating, it's shifting. If you can see the future, you can then also work out, what are the gaps in your business, so that how my business looks today, if I want my business to be able to match that future, what do I need to do tomorrow in my business to actually go forward to achieve that? So when we're looking at gaps, we're trying to find the gaps that help us become our own future business to match the future trend in the market or the sector that we're in, which is really, really important. And the biggest thing about that, we talked earlier on about your audience, and you will all know, hopefully you will have, we all know this. We all know this 4 generation of people. We know about baby boomers and millennials and Gen Zs and Gen X. We know that we've got this different generation. But actually what happened during those generations is that they became multi-generational homes during lockdown and furlough. And all of those multi-generations started to change the behavior of the other generation. But what's really important about this slide is that if you start to look at the behavior of these people, which is the different generations do things differently, and they do different platforms, and some of them will actually work in different ways. It is even more important now than it's ever been that we actually understand the audience and the different ways that our audiences are working. It's really important to understand that actually the new Gen Z marketplace, well, they actually are on social games, they're on tablet devices, they've got high expectations, they're very optimistic. Millennials, we were all worried about millennials at one point, but all the millennials are in their 40s. You know, all the millennials now are the kind of like middle management. And the thing about the millennials is that they already are in those jobs, and they are confident, they're into diversity, but they are now influencing the businesses that we're trying to work with. And the Gen Zers who are coming up, who are brought up, you know, have high expectations and optimisms, they're the junior managers, and they are actually also making an influence, but they're the ones who start to do all their research online. They Google, they do all the research for business. So some senior procurement person over here is asking a Gen Zer to go and do all the research for them to help them make their choices. And that's what we need to understand about those generations. And it's really important. And I think there's one generation that's scaring me a lot. It's Generation Alpha. I mean, I don't know how many of you have got kids or how many of you have got children or relatives with things. But, you know, from 2010, the alphas, their age, they're under, you know, they are literally 13 and under, but they are technical, they're mobile, they're global, they're visual. They are absolutely into tech. They don't know what an old phone looks like. Half of them won't even know what a remote control looks like on a TV because they're all doing it from one control. But this new generation, this is the generation that's influencing the home, and it's influencing most buyers. They're getting involved in all the discussions. They're getting involved in choice. And what we're seeing is the younger generation is influencing up a lot more. Now, okay, they're only 13 now, but in 10 years' time, these are the entrepreneurs of the future. These are some of the people who are going into the businesses. They are changing things. They're into data. They're into code. They're into all different kinds of things. What we're seeing is a new generation. So if I'm laboring this point about your audience and knowing your audience, it's really important to understand that businesses are now multi-generational, that the future is going to be full of multi-generational people all online, choosing you before you've even had a chance to engage with them. You're being rejected before you even know it, or you're being chosen. By the time someone comes to work with you on your business, they've already gone online and researched your online presence, and they're finding out what other people say about you. So the audiences thing is a really, really important thing for us to do. Start profiling your audience and start looking at the different things. We actually drill right down into a level of detail with our clients. We want to know exactly where they are, the stories they tell, literally what are their pain points, what are their motivations, what do they love, where are the channels that they're in. And the whole idea of that is so that you can actually create this wonderful persona of somebody that you can actually share with your person, so that you can actually say, great, we want more Grahams in our business, because actually Graham, we can actually help him with his goals. We know what his motivations are. We know what his pain points are. We know what he loves. And we're going to show up where Graham is. And we're going to market where Graham is. And we're going to talk to the Grahams on the social platforms, or we're going to talk to Grahams in business, because we know those Grahams are going to love what we have to offer. So the whole idea of that audience profiling is making absolutely certain that the audience is the audience that you want to talk to. So if I just go on to the media for the moment, I've talked about consistency, continuity, consistency, communication, all of those various different things. The most important thing for us to say here is that you need one brand journey and you need one brand brief. I work with a lot of clients who come to us and they say, I've got a PPC customer over here. I've got someone over here doing my social. I've got someone over here who's built my website. I've got here. So we've got lots of people working with lots of different places, but all of those organizations didn't get one marketing brief. So the messaging is different, the content is different, the tone of voice is different. And actually what's not happening is a representation of a story all the way through. What's actually happening is that we're seeing a lot of juxtaposition communication. So the most important thing about the media is one brand journey, talking through from the beginning of your business. Here's my purpose. Here's what's going to pull you in and emotionally connect with me. Here is how we do it. So we do it through these steps. In Focus 7, we talk about our define, ignite, grow. So when we're working with clients at the define stage, all of our workshops, all of our strategic planning with our customers comes into our define. So when I'm talking to a client and I say to a client, I'm going to help you define your business, I am actually talking about my workshops and how we do that. When we talk about the ignite, we then talk about we help, when we come out of the workshops and we help you communicate, we're going to ignite that communication creatively. And that's where we do all of our, if you like, our delivery. And the growth I want to see is in the business, the person, and literally in the market that they're in. So when we talk about that one brand journey, we talk about work with Focus 7 so that we can help you define, ignite, grow, and we're growing the business. The last thing we talk about is the products that we sell. So you need that one brand journey, but in that one brand brief, you need to be able to tell, you can work with anybody you want. And that's the beauty at the moment. There are so many businesses out there that can help us. There are so many solutions and collaborations, but you need to give them one brief. This is what we are. This is our purpose. This is who we are. This is what we're not. This is how we want to go to market. This is our tone of voice. These are our values, so that that's communicated in everything that you do. Know your customer journey. This is really, really important. So plan that customer journey. If we know that we want to talk to more Grahams, and we know that Graham's initially going to connect with us because he reads magazines and we're in that editorial, or we know he's in LinkedIn groups that we want to be in with him, literally it's the plan your journey, get all your touch points ready and work out how you're going to get Graham to engage with you. It used to be that it was something like 14 touch points before someone would buy from you. And now it's shrunk down to 13, 3 or 4 touch points with you physically. But what they have done is a lot of those other touch points they've done in the background, on your website, in your social channels, elsewhere, with reviews. So you don't see a lot of the touch points now that a client's going through to get to you. So one customer journey, understand it. And then look at and map out your omni-channel campaigns. Use all the different channels. There are lots of different ways, but not all of them are relevant for everybody. And we say here that more than 80% of marketers believe marketing has changed more in the last 3 years than the last 50 years. What we know is that tech is changing in a 1 month window. The change in tech in a 1 month window is the equivalent to hundreds of years of change in that 1 month window. And tech is still moving forward. All the new startup businesses are online tech savvy businesses, and marketing is shifting really, really quickly. Marketing is shifting as fast as anything else in the marketplace. And that means that you've got to be more savvy in what you're going to do with the marketing. And there's a lot of noise out there in the marketplace, a lot of noise. What we're seeing is that, you know, there are all this, we saw earlier on that they were saying that businesses are using, or people, individuals are using up to 7 different platforms, but to in a month, just to connect and to communicate with people. So one of the things that you have to do is to actually know exactly where that noise is and what you want to use that noise for. So, you know, choose your omni-channel market, but choose it well. And when we talk about digital, it's like there's a lot happening every 1 minute online. It's really noisy. Some people talk about using Twitter or TikTok, and you're seeing that people are clicking emails, they're sending text messages, they're buying something from their home, they're watching TikTok. There's much, much more. It's a very, very, very noisy marketplace. In the last year, the time we've spent online has only increased, and it's gone up 30%. So consumption online has gone up 30%. So all of those people who were forced online during lockdown, not all of them have stayed online, but the majority of people who learned to go online in lockdown have stayed online. And what we've seen is a new habit forming in the way that people are researching, people are buying, and people are growing. So that digital online, that's not going away. That noise is staying here. And that's actually, it's a really, really, really noisy marketplace. And we know that some of these things are just a snapshot in time. So you do have to show up. You have to be seen and heard. And I think it's really important. And if I just showed you this, was the latest statistics on January and in line, but you're seeing that there's something like there are 6 million people shopping online at every minute. The thing that we were looking at was there's 16.2 million texts sent every minute. And the other kind of statistics here is that there was, I think it was 2 million Snapchats, and there was something up here like 3.67 YouTube videos watched. So YouTube is also, like, as a research tool, is one of the biggest tools that people are using on how to learn how to do something. So actually, you know, if you've got a product or a service, and in 10, 15 seconds, you can explain, or 30 seconds, you can explain your service online, or how to do something, or how to fix something, it's becoming the biggest form of research. And funnily enough, for the younger generation, they don't go online and read a big document. They're looking for a video to tell them how to do something, and they want to do it really quickly. So that's changed everything. So if you look at what's going on in every minute, it's phenomenal. It's just, there's been so much activity, and it's changed the world quite significantly. So if I was going to look at the top marketing channels for the brand, let me just recap. The brand growth journey is really, really important. And it's not about the branding. It is about the story that you tell. It is about the vision that you give. It is about your strategy, your plans, your people, including your people and your values. And it's then about putting people into your business because they engage with you, because they love the story that you have to tell. It's about emotional connection. The top marketing channels, websites and blogs are still really, really important. And they're very important to pull your message through. Email marketing to your own community, to your existing clients, and keeping them informed on your relevant stuff. That is essentially important. And email marketing is getting very, very good results to known audiences. And this isn't about email marketing strangers. This is about marketing to your own existing community and your own database. Video marketing, one of the fastest growing, and actually it will take over, and it will become quite vital when you're looking and doing your marketing, and then obviously also the social channels. So the top marketing channels still are, you know, having a really good website, the blog, sharing your content, being a subject matter expert, and then keeping people entertained, keeping people vital with how they're talking to you. So I've tried not to talk as fast as I have this time. So if I just talk about what I think are the takeaways, for me, it's the message, be purpose-led in your brand. Talk about the market, the marketplace, talk about what you want to be known for, and look at who you're talking to and how they're feeling when you talk to you. Know your audience. I can't stress that enough. Take time back and look at how your audience has changed. Really know who you're marketing, who you're talking to, and what they need to know. And look at the how. Know how to reach them, and know how to reach them in a way that works for you, and not in a way that works for everybody else, but in a way that works for you, because every business is unique, and so are your customer base. So you have to get through all that noise, because everybody wants to buy, nobody wants to be sold to, but what people do want to do is they want to engage with businesses that have the same values, and that they can provide them with the service in the way that will engage them. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.